Hey, what is up, my Mini Maniacs? This is Ryanimaniac here to bring you insanity to your everyday lives, and welcome to Manic Movies, the series where I'll talk about a movie I feel like I want to talk about. And welcome to week 6 of my Halloween marathon, in which place we'll be taking a look at Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. No, I didn't forget to add the 6 because this is the point of the series where they drop the numbering system altogether, as most series tend to do when they get up to the higher level such as this. So the story of this one focuses on explaining more about what makes Michael Myers the crazed killer that he is, and sort of removes that element of mystery and involves this sort of satanic ritual involving a thorn rune symbol that was on his wrist in the last movie, but they're explaining here that this is this rune that appears in the constellations every several years or so. I don't remember exactly what they said. And whenever it appears, it has to do with some sort of satanic ritual from the early days of Halloween, in which it represented some sort of demon that would cause sickness and death among the people. So they offered a sacrifice of one family that would appease the spirits, i.e. Michael killing all his family, being, all the Myers bloodline, would appease this demon. Not exactly the greatest explanation in the world, because it doesn't exactly explain why he kills everybody else, but, So yeah, a very convoluted, strange story. But to tell you the truth, for the life of me, I don't know why I can't hate this movie. Like, it's clearly a film that's distracted and not knowing where it's going and unfocused and just going kind of all over the place, especially in its editing. But I don't know, there's just something about it that that makes me can't not hate it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't look at this movie and just say it's the worst in the franchise, which is weird because I always remember this movie being a lot worse. But now I look at it and it's actually not as bad as I remember it. Sam Loomis is back, Donald Pleasance. This was his final film before he sadly passed away in early 1995. And this film is dedicated to him. He's not quite as crazy as he was in the last movies, thankfully. But in retrospect, this whole movie he does kind of have this sort of tired and real done with his role sort of feel to it, which, I mean, after playing this guy for how many is it? 5 movies now, since we're not counting Season of the Witch, since that wasn't about Michael and all. I would not be surprised if he's getting tired of playing the role, but at least he's not like, nutcase, come get the gun, Michael, come get the, crazy like he was in the last movie. It's just, I don't know, he's just sort of tired and old. So, I don't know, it's a much more restrained performance from the last couple films. Something closer to, like, the original 2 films. That's the best way I can describe it. Jamie Lloyd from the last 2 films returns. She's only in it very briefly. She has a child in this movie, and then shortly after she's killed by Michael. And yeah, she doesn't really serve much to the story aside from getting everybody sort of going in the right direction and that sort of thing. This is also the very first acting performance of a Mr. Paul Rudd, who you may know from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Ant-Man. He's probably well known for other roles, but I remember him for being Ant-Man. In this, he plays Tommy Doyle, the young boy that Laurie was looking after in the first film. Little Tommy Doyle. He's playing the grown-up version that's still dealing with the aftermath of what happened all those nights ago. I mean, I'm not quite sure why he's just super crazy, because Michael didn't even go after him, but whatever. And I want to say that Paul Rudd is decent in this film. Not great, not awful, just sort of in the middle. Like, he's got some good moments, and then he's got some, wow, that was really bad and that hurt watching sort of moments. But I give him credit because this was his first movie, so he was still kind of just learning the ropes of all this. So, I don't know. For a first performance, it's still fairly decent. There's also, more mystery on the Man in Black that appeared in the last movie, who was part of the whole cult that controls Michael, that sort of thing. And it's revealed that he is Dr. Wynn, who was Loomis's associate in the first film. That one guy who's saying that Loomis was crazy, that Michael could have gotten all the way to Haddonfield or not knowing how to drive a car. Yeah, that guy. He's back, and apparently he was in control of Michael all this time. There's also this plot where this woman, her son, is slowly sort of becoming the new Michael. It's not really delved into. Like I said, this film is kind of unfocused as to what it wants to be. At one moment it wants to be an origin story explaining what's Michael, and the next one it's trying to set up a new killer, and then another it's like trying to kind of be like the original. I don't know. It's very confused and all over the place, but the whole point is this kid is now hearing voices in his head like Michael did at that young age, and that's really as far as that goes, honestly. It just kind of is there in the movie. It doesn't really play into anything, it just kind of is there. Even by the end, you don't really know if that's going to become anything or not. It's never really resolved. And even though I said I do like this film, there are very many problems with this film. There's multitudes of problems here. Like, for example, I said it's extremely unfocused as to what it really wants to be. 1 second it's just being a Halloween film. One minute it's the Michael Myers story. One minute it's another Halloween horror film, and another minute it's trying to set up a new killer, that sort of thing. It's just kind of all over the place with what it wants to be. I think that might mostly be due to the whole production issues behind this, because from what I understand, this film had a lot of production problems. Like, they had an original producer's sort of cut that was more, that delved more into the satanic cult storyline that was presented in the movie. It delved more into that and dealt more with that, but it didn't, from what I understand, it didn't do well with test audiences. They said it was just boring and there was barely any Michael, so they went, okay, let's redo the film and just throw in more Michael and him being even gorier. Like, I think out of all the films I've watched so far, this one is the goriest. Probably the goriest out of the original series of films before the Rob Zombie films. I don't remember how gory those are, but we'll get to those when we get to those. Michael in this film, I want to say, is, again, another step up. He was played by George P. Wilbur, who played him in Part 4, Mr. Frankenmeyer's hunched up shoulders. And thankfully, he does not do that in this one. Thank the Lord. And, he got the jumpsuit. It's a lot kind of dirty, and he's got that much better mask that it looks a lot more like the original mask, even though it's like a little sort of chunkier looking, like it's got a bigger neck. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. It looks like it's a lot thicker of a mask than the original, like a sort of heavy sort of mask, but I don't know, he looks better as opposed to the last couple films where, those weird masks, especially that one. That is not to say that this editing in this movie is amazing by any means, because, good lord, there are a lot of these more modern jump cut, flash, 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 that sort of thing. I don't really care for, to be perfectly honest. Especially the one scene toward the end, which Michael sort of randomly kills a room full of doctors and nurses for really no reason. He just kind of walks into the scene, grabs a machete, and is like, well, I guess I'm going to kill some people. I mean, yeah, he's this crazy animal, but supposedly these are doctors who are part of this demonic cult, so why he randomly kills them, I don't really know why, but all I remember is that scene was extremely seizure-inducing because it's constant bright flashing lights in your face. Seriously, if you ever have issues with epilepsy, do not watch this movie, because good lord, even me watching that, and I don't have epilepsy problems, I was starting to get a serious headache and starting to feel nauseous from that, because it's just like a solid minute or so of just bright flashing white lights, and wow, it's ugh. But like I said, even though this film is extremely flawed, I don't know for the life of me, I can't bring myself to hate this one, as I did with the last one, where that one was just slow and annoying and nothing happening. And, you know, I don't know, this one just had this sort of atmosphere to it, I guess. Or, I don't know, it felt more had more of that feeling of the original, if that makes sense. It's kind of, I can't really put my finger on why I think this is a decent enough movie of the franchise. Like, I remember originally this being one of the worst of the franchise, but in all honesty, it's probably in the top 5 for me. Probably at 5 for me as of right now. I don't know. But yeah, it's actually just pretty decent, I must say. So I can't really say if you enjoyed it or not. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's theatrical cut. I don't know. At some point, I'm probably going to have to get around to actually watching the producer's cut version and seeing what I think of that version, the original intended version, which had more of Dr. Loomis, as opposed to this version, which has more Michael, which I suppose is what you'd want in a Halloween film, but I don't know. So overall, I think I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10, because like I said, even though it obviously got problems, I don't know, it's just got something about it. I watch it that makes me think, hey, I'm actually kind of glad I watched that. I mean, even though it does kind of kill the whole mystery of why Michael is a psycho, you know, which is what John Carpenter never wanted to be revealed. I don't know, it just has something about it that makes it like a decent watch for me. Like if I'm ever in a mood, I would definitely turn this one on again, because I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just a decent film. Like, it's not the worst of the franchise, it's not the greatest, it's just okay. But that's definitely a pass for me. Like, it's something I might watch again, I don't know. Or maybe it's one of those films where one time I watch it, I might like it, another time I might watch it, it might be bad, I don't know. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that like button, comment, and give me a suggestion of something else I should look at, because there may be a movie you guys want me to look at that I might want to look at and I might have something to say about. Or you can also give me some feedback down below, what do you think I can improve on this whole movie review thing, because, you know, I am sort of a novice at this. Like, I can explain my points to a degree, but I want to see what you guys think about that. And also, if you want, you can subscribe and see more stuff like this going on. More gaming and movie reviews, that sort of thing. But anyways, with all that being said, stay sane in the insane world, and I will see all you little loonies later.